I've got clocks that are all different times in the house, and I'm going to have to fix them. Okay, now I don't know. You know what? I think it's just been one of those days. All right. Hopefully that will work. Jade is here. Jade is here. She's hopped up here on the chair. And as I mentioned last week, this live is going to be about a glitch in the matrix. Now, without explaining exactly what that means, a glitch in the matrix is referring to a happy accident that has had a positive result and has helped you at a particular time when you needed it. So I got up at 11 o'clock this morning. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on. But then I went to get my hair done, highlights, so you can comment if you like it. It turned out more perfect. It's better than I imagined. So I have some notes, and I'll try to rack my brain now and remember the things that came to my mind was something that has happened very recently, and that is with my phone bill and my phone company, Mint Mobile. I signed up in January. They sent me the card. I had to put in the chip. I had a lot of trouble. It started snowing. I was crying because I didn't know how things were really going to work for what I need. Ran over to Verizon, said, I've been with you 13 years, but I've got to try this. You know, I've got to get a handle on my finances right now. And so they helped me, and they put it in like 2 seconds. I distinctly remember chatting with them and talking with them on the phone about how to complete the process and how many months that I wanted. And I said, well, you know, I still got my past due Verizon phone bill that I'm going to have to pay off. I've got a balance due there. So I want to do the $15 a month plan. He said, well, you have to pay for like 3 months in advance or 6 months. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, okay. I kind of thought that might possibly be the case. So that's $45. And then how much after that? He said, well, we have a processing fee, so your total is going to be about $65 approximately. And I said, oh, geez, because I got to make a payment on that, and then I got to pay this. I said, okay, let's just go ahead and do it. I couldn't do any more than that. I could not have signed up for a 6-month plan. That would be $90 plus the processing and setup fee. So no, I did the 3-month. Now 3 months was coming and going, January, February, March. So I hopped on in March to see when I need to renew. And it said, you're good until, I think it said June 1st. And I thought, okay, that's 2 more months. What's going on? And so at the end of March, it said, I got a message that said, okay, your data has renewed. Thank you. How are you liking it? This and that. You're rolling over your data. You're getting 5 GB to start out the month again. And so I just went with it. But then when April came, I started wondering, well, I don't know. So I looked at the end of April, then I looked in May, and I thought, I better call and ask because I'm not set for auto-renew. So I called, I said, I want to make sure I'm not set up for auto-renew. It said, no, you're not. I said, okay, good. I know that's what it says on the website. I said, but when is my plan due for renewal? He said, July 1st. Oh, okay. Thought I signed up for the 3-month plan. No. No, you're good for 6 months. You're good until July 1st. Any other questions? And I just thought, okay, this kind of thing has happened to me once in a while. I'm just going to accept it and say, no, thank you, I'm good, and goodbye, and we hung up. Hello? So that has really helped me transition into summer. You know, I started that other job for less money and I had to work more days. Then I quit and I really only had a few days to go back to my regular other job that paid a lot more money. So, you know, things were, and plus I've got other bills that are, you know, past due from the pandemic. And so I thought, well, this is a wonderful blessing. Now, I didn't have a chance to write everything down as it was coming to my mind, but if you've had a chance to think about it, and you can think of anything that happened that brought you a strange blessing that couldn't really be explained, in that case they kept saying, no, the bill is paid, or no, you don't have to renew, you know, for another couple of months, or this repair is on us, something like that, then please share it, because we all need to kind of really look at more than just casting spells. Once we start to get in touch with our higher self, or our spirit guides, our guardians, or our ancestors, these types of things can happen. So, you know, it's almost like, are you going to take the red pill or the green pill? Are you going to open yourself up to some things being glitched in the matrix? Now, this can happen too with ancestors sending you messages. I just watched a YouTuber who said that her father was sending her messages. She was in the airport and the clock stuck at the time of her death, the time of his death. It just stuck there. And as she was walking and looking, it didn't move, it didn't move, and it was the time of his death. And it just stuck there for several minutes, maybe longer. And then, of course, some other things happened to her before that during the day, maybe a song on the radio. So that was a form of a glitch in the matrix that was done by spirit. Now, the only other one that I can think of at the moment was many years ago, after I first met my spirit guide. And it was about maybe a month or two later, I'm not sure, a newspaper showed up at our front door. And we were not subscribed to the newspaper. And the Thanksgiving Day Black Friday sale was coming up. And I had been so stressed out and so upset about a lot of things that this newspaper had inside of it an ad sheet. And I had been thinking of my mother, that she didn't really want, somebody keeps coming in and out, she didn't want to really cook for herself. And I'd asked her, well, what if you had the little tiny George Foreman grill? Just to throw on a piece of chicken. You know, it'll cook on both sides in like 2 minutes. Oh, well, you know, maybe. So I thought, okay, it's worth a try. And there it was on sale at Target. So me and the kids went. I explained to them, guys, we need to get out of our heads. We need to get out of ourselves and all of our problems right now and go buy a present for Grandma. So we went and we found it, and it was the price we could afford. The line was just a mile long, and we stood in it. And then I sent it to her. So that was to me a message. And I asked my neighbors, did you get a free paper today? They said no. That was a strange fluke. Something else I'm trying to remember about getting a rose. That was kind of a symbol between me and him, where a rose came to me in some way, and we didn't know where it came from. That's another glitch in the matrix, and it is something that Spirit will do for you if they feel that you really need something to lift your spirits. Please say hello, whoever is here. I hope my volume is fine. I'm not using a microphone. I'm scared to touch the button to turn it up. I might lose you. And I have not turned off my notifications. It's been that kind of a day. So I have to try to synchronize all the clocks in my house now with my phone to make sure that I'm not 5 minutes late getting onto these things in the future, and also put some music on in the background for a little intro. Well, I hope that you can start thinking over the next couple of days what kinds of things have happened that you tried to explain away. We can't explain them, but we try to pretend they, oh well, we can't explain it. It was a logical accident, and we don't tell anybody. This is one of the channels where you can actually share that story. This isn't even one of the major paranormal experiences that I've had. And I don't know if I will be sharing all of those here on YouTube. But there are some things that we can definitely start sharing so that we know we're not necessarily opening ourselves up to everything, but some happy accidents have come along that have helped us at times when we really needed it. The other one that came to my mind was a strange phenomenon that has been tried to be explained away logically on the news, and that is when it rains on one side of the street. Now, I was a young girl, I was a teenager, and I was with my mom, and we were driving down a 2-lane street, and it was raining on one side. And she said, Sabrina, look at this. I said, what? She said, it's raining on one side of the street. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, look. And sure enough, it was only raining on that one side of the street. I think this only happened when I was with my mother twice. I don't remember if it's ever happened to me when I was driving, but there was another time when it was raining on our side of the street and not on the other. And I'm not talking for 2 seconds. I mean, we were driving and driving and driving and driving, and it had to be for at least a mile. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, when it's literally just raining one half of the side of the street, that's just pretty weird. My lives might be only about 30 minutes long here in the beginning. I don't know how many other people. I haven't had a chance to really put out the word a lot yet. Jade is here. She's jealous of my time. Come here. You want to say hi to the peoples? Come here. Jade is my familiar. So if you've ever had something that you thought was lost suddenly appear, I've read stories about that. Sometimes they'll even just literally fall from what seems like the ceiling, and it's just not physically possible. Darn it, your chat went away. How do I read it? Let's see. There we go. You are an example of resilience and strength. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, sometimes I say I'm hard to kill. Yeah, there's always something coming up. Respect for you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'll try to send out the word. I have a notebook now where I'm planning what I'm going to be talking about on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm in South Dakota, and so I can make a scheduled post, and then I can put the word out on my Twitter, where I still have some followers, and on my Facebook page. I didn't even have time to make my coffee. Oh my God, Jade is chasing her tail. Okay, I'm going to assume she's happy. So, do you like my highlights? I thought they came out looking very, very expensive. I just went to the beauty school, but I was in the chair for 3.5 hours. Sorry, that's my friend chatting with me on my notifications. I got to get the hang of this. Don't know what other things were glitches in the matrix, but I'm sure there's been other instances where I was granted a discount. Oh, let's see, what was that? Looking good, thank you. USA. I did mention on a previous video that I might make another live on another day of the week at a different time in the afternoon, where my regular viewers who are out of the United States can hop on at a time that's between 7 and 9 p.m. So I might be doing a second live in the afternoon since I'm off for the summer. And I need to stop shopping. So, yeah, I cannot really think of anything else. But there have been times when, let's say, I'll tell you this example here. As I've been experimenting over the years with different spirits from different traditions and different ways to try money magic. I've really been practicing money magic since about 2001. That I opened up my little prosperity book from Silver Raven Wolf and read about Oshun, and I thought, oh, I like this. I didn't know what it was, but I liked it. I liked the story she told. I pulled out a potpourri pot with water. I put yellow incense and some yellow flowers. I burned, I think, a yellow candle. And I said, very respectfully, Oshun, I don't know if you are willing to work with me. I've been trying to create a money. Oh, let me look at that again. Money bringer servitor. Ooh, I love that. That's fantastic. I love that. Did you see my video by any chance about creating a servitor? It's like creating a genie in the lamp. It just came to my mind earlier today. Yeah, I think servitors are a very important part of realizing your spiritual self. Along with realizing that thoughts are things, then we can actually start to create things with our thoughts, right? I'm not certain, but I'm sure we'll watch it now. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like creating your own little genie. And I did make one, and I call her Sparkle. And I got this idea from another magical practitioner here on YouTube. And I try to remember every single Monday, I ring a bell and I call Sparkle to go to my daughter who's out of state. Oh, yes, I did watch that one. Remember now. Okay. Uh, and I burn a little sandalwood because that's what I've designated for her. Mm-hmm. And what else? She's just a sphere, like an orb that sparkles pink and lavender. And I've commanded her to go to my daughter's shoulder on her left side between her ear and her shoulder at her neck, and give her energy from her to her body and her head, because she suffers from low energy and I don't know if she's cured it yet. I don't really hear from her anymore, and sometimes that's all we can do is try to connect to them and not just, pray, oh, I hope they're okay. We take our thoughts into our hands and literally say, I'm sending a part of me to you. And so I do that every Monday, I think. And after a little while, or on the next day, I think I do it the next week, I call her back. I ring the bell, Sparkle come home, and I put her in this little pink jar, and I let her recharge. I have an amethyst in there. And so then I let her recharge, and after a while, I'll go back, I'll ring the bell, and I'll say, Sparkle, go to my daughter. So I was doing that once a week for a while. And I think it actually helped me when I did a dream working to try to connect with her. Although I wasn't actively trying to connect with her, it's another story. It has to do with Astarte. In any event, she ended up feeling my affection and paying the phone bill. So I think it's a good way to telepathically connect with someone from a distance. You'll have to let me know here how you're doing with that. You were talking about Oshun. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, thank you. Back to Oshun. This is really considered more like a spell. However, after I finished that, I let it burn, and I meditated on it. And I said, I don't know if you're willing or able to work with me, but if you can, I'd like to get some money to go with me and my kids in the car to out of town to visit a friend who's recently gotten married and moved away. So there was a contest that a radio was holding, and you could get a gas card. This is when I think we were having a super big gas crunch and gas prices had gone very high. Oh, first time made it to the live. Hello, nice to see you. Thank you so much. And so I wasn't even sure that one little gas card was going to be enough. And I thought, well, maybe my husband can give us $5 more. But something was happening like the next day, and we were getting delayed. And I thought, I've got to get the car. My husband needs to get home so I can get the car and go over to the gas station and answer the question to the DJ and get a card. So as it happened, he got home at the last minute. Thank you, Rose. And I said, okay, come on, kids. Let's just go over there and see if they're still there. I literally got there at the last minute. This happens a lot when Spirit is helping me. I think they want us to have faith and trust. So I get there and am I too late? Am I going to be able to answer the question? I'm trying to get the gas card. He said, oh, it's over. And I'm closing my briefcase. Somebody told me it's over. He's leaving. And but he said, oh, it's okay, don't worry. He came over to my car and he said, I got 2 left and you can have them both. So I had gasoline going and gasoline coming back. That was a gift from Oshun. She has a lot to do with liquids. So that was a glitch in the matrix. And that was done by working with a particular deity. Maybe your mind will start thinking after this, and you can write down some notes for yourself, and don't discount them. Anything else that might have happened that is a wonderful, happy accident that helped you, even if it was a free repair on the car or, an extra discount, that was substantial. I'm not talking 25 or 50 cents. I'm talking $10, $20 or more. This is definitely a wonderful glitch that's happened in the matrix due to spirit guide, ancestor, some other deity that has caused it to happen. And some people have mistakes happen in their bank account to their favor, and it can't be explained. The bank didn't know. They did a search, they did a history search. They couldn't find where it came from or why it was there. And I've heard about this happening from several people. Hasn't happened to me yet. I'll probably have to make another 1 or 2 videos. I think this is a good subject, and I think that we need to start prompting our minds to really think about things that have happened recently and in our lives, and then we can come back. Have you heard of the spirit Manita? Let's see here. And the magical cash book. Nikita. Yes, I have. And I started to work with Nikita, and I didn't really do much, I don't think. I think I might have started to charge a ring with the spirit of Nikita, but it really wasn't at an altar, and it wasn't serious ritual. I felt that I already had spirit guides that were helping me, and for some reason I just have not decided to work with Nikita. Maybe because some people say it's a fairy, and you kind of have to be careful if you're going to work with fairies. You have to really study about fairies and what exactly it is that you need to offer, or make sure that you give them so that they don't get upset with you. So I don't feel that I have enough knowledge. I bought the book titled The Magician's Handbook. Says Rose by Donald Tyson. Yeah, I think I have a book or 2 by him. Because of your video, have you had any more experiences of or rituals from it? Gosh, it's been a long time. I think you're talking about the big black one with like a gold circle in the middle, right? Yeah. He's a good, knowledgeable author. I wanted to buy a couple of other books from him, but I haven't. I think there's one on divination and scrying. I think there's another one called Portable Magic. Yes. My brain seems to be so wired for scrying and divination and prophetic visions and dreams that when I set out the tarot cards in his example with the pennies and the incense, I had a dream that was telling me basically that I was going to be starting my own website. And that's all that was about. So I don't really remember much else of what I did. I do have a lot of pen marks and asterisks and highlights, and I might go back and review that book again. It's very good to learn different ways of practicing, different traditions, working with different types of dimensions. But as you may or may not know, I recently made a video about what I call my magical maturity, and that is where I have been led by the star goddess Astarte to really look at the constellations and start working with my natal chart. So, in the realm of money magic, because this has been kind of a sore spot for me, I have decided to start looking at the stars, the constellations, the fixed stars, and talismans. And you may or may not know, this was the first one that I had made. So I do want to talk more about that and some other things that have recently transpired. So, if you're interested in that, I will make a video on that as well. We can talk about prosperity workings, prosperity altars. All of those things are important. And if you can think of any glitches that you've had happen in your life that were happy accidents, it's going away. Oh, well, nice. Please do. Astrological magic is so fascinating. Yeah, it's powerful. It really is. More specifically, Silva method and stuff like that. Well, that's kind of where I started many, many years ago. I've mentioned this briefly many videos ago, where I was first led to learn meditation, transcendental meditation. My father had recognized that I was clairvoyant and I was prophetic, and he said, I'm taking her to a TM house. This was a long time ago in Houston, Texas. Psychologists were renting or buying houses and turning them into meditation places, and they were teaching the transcendental meditation method. So that worked very, very well with me. As you know, I have a Pisces ascendant. And so that was not really that big of a surprise. Evidently, my father had been searching and reading books. He was very spiritual, and he decided when I was 19, Sabrina, it's time for you to go to Silva Mind Control. I'm like, what? Why? He said, because, you've been training your mind, but now you need to learn how to use that meditative state of mind, right? To make things happen, or, just do some other new and different things with it. So I went. And in those days, it wasn't really that cheap. But yeah, I'm a Silva Mind Control graduate. He had some really good glitches in the Matrix happen. If you remember the story where he was out with his son one day and he really needed a part for whatever it was he was doing in his business. Simple method and stuff like that. Oh yeah, nice. Okay. And he had been just really thinking about it and a certain amount of money that he needed, and he looked down on the ground. This was many years ago. Oh yeah, I'm a Silva Mind Control graduate. I've been on the very long, long journey of shamanism and the shamanic path. And that's why I want to really help people just really learn how to do star magic, because nowadays you don't really have to go 30 years to learn how to do some things. It was the Silva Mind Control method that really showed me you really only need 30 hours. You don't have to go out into the desert or wherever, and fast and barely have any water, you're putting yourself really nowadays in jeopardy that way. There's certain people that can't do that with medical conditions, digestive issues, diabetes. You really just need 30 hours of meditation to get your mind really in that place where when you go to your altar to cast a spell, it's probably going to do pretty well. That's a beautiful thing I learned from Silva Mind Control. So he found a lottery ticket on the ground. I don't know how they were playing lottery in Texas in those days, but he found some kind of a lottery ticket on the ground, and it was the amount of money that he needed. He glitched the matrix. Now that's different from what this video live stream is really about, but we can have another discussion on how you can begin to glitch the matrix if you have practiced at least 30 hours of regular meditation. Totally agree, yeah. He saw the numbers with eyes closed in a dream. Oh, I didn't remember that. In a dreamlike state, yeah. Mentally came to him in the alpha state, yes. I went on to teach self-hypnosis to adults in my community because I'm just so passionate about it. And I really didn't think I really didn't think anyone was going to be receptive. I'm in the Bible Belt. I've been taking a initiatory free magical course, and it says that you need to master oh, absolutely. Meditation is the foundation. And yeah, unless you hit a playlist where someone has made from beginning to end a course, like a year and a day, people aren't necessarily talking about that when they make a video. But absolutely, 100%, that is the foundation, meditation. So maybe someday I'll be able to put together a course, where I can put it on Thinkific. And like I said, I taught self-hypnosis through my community. And at that time I got $25. And I had a lot of people who were interested in learning how to get into the meditative state. I talked about it. I passed out materials that I drew myself with all the different states and how they can fluctuate. But that, once you get to that state, you can visualize or you can feel what it is that you want. So yeah, I did that for 3 seasons to adults out here in my community. That's great. Ask questions and stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is the key. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Let's see if I get back up here. Yes, I love that we can interact. This is fantastic. I love it. Okay, I'm glad that this is working, or you're making the time and setting it aside to be here on Wednesday nights at 7. I don't know what time it is. Looks like I've got a third person. This is wonderful. And yeah, it's just been happening for me that I've been led to do things that made me hit such a high amount of views in my shorts that I got approved for community posts. I don't know what else has changed, but I'm able to now go live on my phone where I wasn't before. Yay! So I think that those of us that are on this path now, thank you so much for sharing. We'll probably be paying more attention and taking the time to jot down a little notebook. Oh, I remember such and such happened one day. Lots and lots of things that have actually been happening in our lives. Maybe even before we actively stepped on the path, or probably more once you actively start meditating and doing magical workings of any kind. Then you will be experiencing a glitch in the matrix, and that's what this video was about. I think it is 7:45. Don't know if anybody else is going to come. Looks like someone has left. So, any tips for developing psychic abilities? Well, meditation is really going to help you start to get in touch with your inner self. And I think that's a part that will lead you to certain things, like you might be attracted to crystals or some other type of stone. Developing your psychic abilities all begins with meditation. Now, we can also speak to ourselves. I am more in touch with my psychic abilities are growing in a positive way. I think a lot of times if you want to probably get in touch with your higher self, that would probably be one of the very best first things that you could do. And you can just speak to yourself before you go to sleep, or you can say, my higher self, please reveal yourself to me in some way, shape, or form, and give me a sign. And you can even ask them to do something for you specific, like when I go down such and such a street, ring the bell. Dream recollection programming. Yeah, lucid dreaming. Yeah, lucid dreaming is actually intermediate to advanced psychic happening. Study the tarot. Tarot again is more of an intermediate. Some people say advanced. I think it can help with visualization. Oh yeah, 15 minutes at least once a day if that's all you can do, you know? Yeah, if you can do it twice a day, even better. But eventually you'll hit the 30 hours, so yeah, absolutely. So important to start at the beginning. Book of Shadows, yes, we all should have one. Yeah, that's your way of keeping notes of what's happening. And then there's other things you can put in your Book of Shadows as well. And I do have a video showing my Book of Shadows, which now I have 3 of them. I outgrew my first one. And so then I started on a couple of other ones were basically for research in different pantheons and then different cultures, and also the culture and the people that we have here in my state, South Dakota, which I was feeling very close to. Yes. USA Forever, that's your name. Thank you so much, both of you, for coming on and sharing and asking questions. It's important for all of us. You know, if we can't drive somewhere and, you know, get showered, get dressed, and have to go drive and deal with traffic and go somewhere, we can come here. So with that, I think I'll close this live for today. I'm very happy. Thank you so much. And I will always post in the community post for my channel when I am going to go live in like about 30 minutes or so. You are welcome. Some people are naturals. I am not one of them, but I have found, I'm on my phone, that if you persist, yep, absolutely, the effect is cumulative, it adds up, it's a process, and a long life one, well worthwhile. Guys, many people will not take the time to embark on really seeking their spiritual self, the knowledge of the self, and know thyself and to thine own self be true. Okay, thank you so much. I'll say good night, and I will see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I am in the Midwest, South Dakota. Good night. See you next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week.